Hello and welcome to the Be Home, Be Safe video. For the next 10 to 15 minutes, we intend to highlight some points that will try to help you be safe and independent in your own home. So please watch this video and listen to the suggestions carefully. Thanks for your time. Alright, my name's Garry Lewis. I'm here to offer you some advice on how to increase safety awareness in the home, in your home. So, you've just got out of hospital, maybe with an injury or an illness, and perhaps you feel a bit less steady in your feet. Maybe you feel less confident. Well, that's understandable, but don't worry. And don't be afraid to ask any healthcare professional for advice or any questions you may have. Now, in the course of this video, we'll be showing you some ideas on how to increase safety in your home. Alright, okay, let's get started. So you're going to get discharged, you're getting home. How did you end up in here?
I was sitting in a chair and I got up to walk into the bedroom and I accidentally tripped on the carpet and I fell down onto the floor. Fortunately, I didn't break any bones this time. I'm a wee bit anxious, but I'm so glad to be going home today.
Good, that's the stuff.
Okay, so you're looking forward to getting home, the transport's arranged, you're on your way out of the door, waving goodbye to folk that you've seen for the last few days or weeks. We've got a few tips for you that we'd like to give you so that you can settle back into your own home environment. One of the first things that you'll notice is the colours are much brighter when you get out of hospital. Don't be fooled by that, and take your time when you get home. If you've been in hospital for a little while, you might notice that you'll be a bit more tired than you expected. That's because things have been done for you in hospital for the last wee while. As a consequence of that, the team who've organised your discharge might have decided that you need a little bit more support when you get home. Use that to good effect over the next little while. Also, the team might have organised for your therapy to continue at home. This will be useful so that you can settle back into your own home environment and able to do the things that you did in the past. And if we need to see you again, we'll have organised that as well. So look after yourself.
Hello, Mrs. Rafferty. Hi. Your daughter's here to collect you to go home. It's time to leave us. I see you've your medicines and your patient leaflets. Would you like to come with me?
Mum, cup of tea, and I'm just going to head off back to work.
Right,
I'll see you
okay.
later on. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye, Christian. Thank you.
I bet you're glad to be back in your own home. But now you're by yourself, and that means you have to look after yourself a bit more. So, let's see what you can do to make things easier and safer in your own home.
It is very important that you don't overstretch or bend down too low when putting things away. You could easily lose your balance, as we often find when we get older that our balance reactions aren't as sharp. You may also find that you feel a little lightheaded if you stand up too quickly. So try to keep frequently used items at a height that's easy to reach. Your occupational therapist may provide you with a helping hand if you have problems with bending to help you pick items off the floor, or ask a friend or relative or carer for help with more awkward or hard to reach items.
That was close, eh? And to be honest, that kind of thing happens all the time. The rug? Well, it's an okay rug, but I mean, is it really worth risking an injury? You would be surprised how many falls and accidents are caused by tripping over objects. For example, maybe your grandchildren leave their toys lying around. Maybe you leave newspapers spread out on the floor. Or there's a telephone cable loose and you have to step over it. The edge of the carpet sticks up just where the door is. The list goes on and on. I won't bore you. It would make your life a lot easier and safer to have the areas of your home that you walk around as clear as possible. Remember what we said about bending and reaching. It might be worth asking a friend, a relative, carer, or a health professional to help you move objects out of your way. Maybe the area you live in runs a handy person service. They can often do odd jobs for you, such as securing the edge of a carpet, securing cables, changing a light bulb, that kind of thing. Contact your local social work department to find out more about their service.
As that clip has just demonstrated, it is very important that you can see where you're going during the day in dark areas of your home as well as at night time, especially when we tend to be more drowsy. It is a good idea to have an easily accessible lamp next to your bed. Do you know that you can now get ones that are operated by touch to save you fumbling around in the dark for a switch? Another idea may be to try a night light which automatically comes on when it gets dark. These can be bought in most hardware stores.
There are some simple changes you can make in your own home. Now please watch these examples carefully. They can help to protect you against tripping and falling.
I'm coming.
You have just watched something that occurs very regularly. Someone at the front door, you forgetting about your walking aid and trying to rush to open the door in case it's important. Now let's watch this clip again. Only this time I will explain to you what should have happened and what you can do to prevent a fall like this ever happening to you. There is nothing wrong with you taking a nap whenever you are tired. However, you should not panic when your doorbell or telephone rings. Tell all your family and friends that you go for sleep sometimes and to give you a bit more time to answer them if they come to the door or ring your telephone. They will understand that and give you more time. Now we will look at the clip again.
I'm coming.
You can see what went wrong here. She has, in her rush to answer the door, forgotten her walking stick. Remember that if you use any kind of walking aid, such as a stick, a Zimmer, a mobilator or crutches, it is important to use them whenever you get up, however short a journey you're making. Keep your walking aids within easy reach, but not in such a position that you could fall over them. And remember, you do not have to rush to open the door or answer your telephone, because if it is important, they will contact you again. It would be a good idea to give your family and close friends a spare set of keys, but do not, under any circumstances, give strangers your phone number or tell them you will leave keys for them. Okay, we will move on to the last part of the clip now. You have fallen onto the floor, You probably feel a little embarrassed, shocked and shaken, but don't panic. Try to stay calm and think what to do to help yourself. If you're hurt or cannot get up, use a pendant alarm if you have one. If you don't have one, you could contact your local social work department. If not, then you could bang on the floor or wall, or crawl towards your telephone and call someone who has your keys to your house for help. If you have fallen on a hard surface, try to move to a soft or carpeted area and try to reach for something to cover you and keep warm. If you are uninjured and able, then follow these steps to get up safely without injuring yourself. Roll over onto your hands and your knees. And crawl over to a suitable, stable piece of furniture like your chair. Need to crawl forward to the chair and put one hand up onto the chair for support and then the other. And just bring your legs up a little bit closer to the chair and bend your strong knee and put your foot flat on the floor. And push up with your hands and leg and stand up. And turn round. Feel the chair behind your legs before you sit down. And sit down gently. Get your breath back now and relax. Well done.
Thank you.
Lastly, please tell your relatives or carers that you had a fall and ask your doctor to see you, as it is important to find out the cause so that steps can be taken to reduce the chance of it happening again. Of course, if you tripped or know the reason for the fall, you should still get checked out, just in case you have injured yourself and are not aware of it.
I hope you've listened carefully to what the physiotherapist has been saying. I would also like to suggest that you keep your door keys in a safe but accessible location at night time, just in case you have to use the door as a means of escape, for example during a fire. It's good to relax in a nice warm bath at the end of the day, or even to stand under a warm shower if you don't have a lot of time. But you have to be careful, especially if you're a bit wobbly in your feet. So, it's good to know how to get in and out of the bath or the shower safely. You know, falls don't just occur from great heights. You can just as easily fall from your chair or from bed. So it's important for you to use all the right techniques to get on the bed, off the bed, into a chair, out of a chair. We call these things transfers. Your physiotherapist or occupational therapist, they can give you advice regarding the correct transfer techniques if you're struggling.
In certain circumstances, equipment can be beneficial to you to perform your transfers. An occupational therapist can assess your particular needs to see if equipment is required. But remember that it is best only to use equipment that has been issued to you. Don't be tempted to borrow equipment, as it may be more of a hazard for you if it is the wrong height or unsuitable for your needs. Remember that equipment needs to be fitted correctly by a professional to ensure that it is safe. In the bathroom, remember not to use towel rails or radiators to help pull you up from the toilet or when getting out of the bath, as they were not designed for this purpose and may not be secure enough to take your weight. It is also safer to use a non-slip bath mat, especially if you have the bathroom floor covered with either linoleum or bathroom tiles. And also a non-slip bath mat inside the bath, as wet surfaces can become very slippy and be a high risk for falls. The following clips show some of the equipment that is commonly used to perform your transfers.
This aid is a bed stick, and it's commonly used to assist a person getting into bed and out of bed. Mrs. Rafferty, could you show me how you managed to use the bed stick to help you out of the bed? This aid is a toilet frame surround. It fits around your toilet. Its purpose is to enable you to stand up safely and easily from the toilet. Mrs. Rafferty, could you please demonstrate this? Thank you.
If you're not sure about any of the information given, or feel unsafe or insecure about using any of your equipment, please feel free to speak to your occupational therapist who can advise you.
It is very important for us to walk properly. And that sounds pretty obvious, but it's true. We need to walk properly. And it's also very important to use the appropriate walking aids. So please listen carefully to the following advice given by the physiotherapist.
Some might think the use of a walking aid is unfashionable or a sign of increased frailty. However, the real fact is that walking aids help to make you more independent if you are struggling with your mobility. An appropriate walking aid, when used correctly, can increase your balance and also help to relieve some of the strain from a weak or painful leg. The use of a walking aid would also reduce the risk of falls. You could consult with a physiotherapist for appropriate walking aids. It is very important to stay active to improve your strength and balance. It might be just moving your toes and ankles, or it might be leg exercises, walking or balance work. The exercise would help to strengthen your muscles and improve your balance, which would help to improve your mobility, reduce stiffness and the risk of falls. Contact your physiotherapist for specific exercise programs.
Medicines, whether they are prescribed by your doctor or bought over the counter, can have an impact on your safety at home. It's becoming more common for people to be on several medicines every day. This can be confusing and can lead to them being taken incorrectly. That's why it's very important to always read the labels. If you struggle to read the fine prints, speak to your local pharmacist about getting labels in a larger size. Some drugs can cause drowsiness and make you unsteady on your feet. This may increase your risk of falls. If you have any concerns about suspected side effects, your pharmacist can offer advice. If you tend to forget to take your tablets, compliance aids are available that may help you. These can be bought and filled by yourself, a friend or relative. Some pharmacies are also able to do this. Another possibility is that carers assist you with your medicines. They can prompt you to take your medication and collect further supplies if needed. A delivery service is often provided by local pharmacies too. It's important to store your medicine safely, out of children's reach, in, for example, a cupboard. You should also keep them in their original containers. To minimise risk to yourself and others, avoid stockpiling tablets and only order what you need. You can do this by ticking the items required on your repeat prescription list. If you have any unwanted medicines in your home, please return them to your local pharmacy where they can be disposed of safely and free of charge. Finally, it is important that you do not take anyone else's medicine, as they may not agree with you and could interact with other medicines that you are on. If you have any problems with your medicines, remember that your local pharmacist, GP or NHS 24 out with hours are available for advice.
All right there. I was just listening to what the pharmacist was telling you. I would like to add a wee bit of advice myself. I think you should also tell your nurse or any healthcare professional who visits you if you suffer from any change in your bowel or bladder habits. I mean, there's no need for any embarrassment when it comes to telling them about any pain when passing water, or if you develop a bout of diarrhoea or get constipated. Not at all. You have to tell them.
Hello there. I would like to draw your attention to 4 brief but important points. Firstly, If you suffer any episodes of dizziness or lightheadedness, it is important that you contact your local nurse or doctor or ask a friend, relative or carer to do so. A simple blood pressure check or review of your medicines may be all that is required to highlight the problem and allow them to act accordingly to help you. Secondly, any episodes of increased breathlessness, swelling of the ankles or lower legs that impedes your mobility or ability to carry out your usual daily activities should be reported to your nurse or doctor. A general physical and medicine review may be all that is required to help alleviate your symptoms. Thirdly, if you have recently undergone an operation or if you have a wound, a nurse will visit you at home. It would be helpful to inform the nurse if you have noticed any new swelling, increase in pain or increased redness around the wound or any new discharge from the wound. Lastly, as we all get older, many people notice changes in their bowel and bladder habits. If you find that you are going to the toilet more frequently, especially at night, please contact your local nurse who will visit and assess the situation. Thank you.
You know something, I'd be in big trouble if I couldn't read properly, couldn't read scripts. I'd be penniless. So I make sure I get my eyes tested regularly. Now there are a lot of good reasons for getting your eyes tested. That's certainly one of them. The eyes are just like any other part of the body. They can deteriorate for various reasons. And if our eyesight isn't so good, it becomes difficult to judge distances or the height of steps, that kind of thing. So it's important to have them checked. Here's another one. It's important to visit your chiropodist. The feet, the old plates of meat, they're like foundations. And if the foundation is good, the structure is strong. That's us come to the end of the video. I've learned some stuff, but more importantly, I hope you've learned a few things about being safe in your own home. Now, by following the advice in this video, it's possible for you to be confident and independent in your own place. And prevention, of course, is always better than cure. So if you're unsure about anything, if you need advice, then there is help out there. All you have to do is ask. Okay, so thanks for watching. Be safe. Bye-bye.